Good day, everyone. Welcome to the our press session for the 2021 ARC Industry Forum. So glad that you could all join us here in the virtual world. Perhaps next year we'll be able to get together again in person, which we'll all look forward to. I'd like to, in a moment, I'd like to announce our first presenters. I just want to remind everyone that we're going to be using the Q&A mechanism for any questions you may have, and we hope you do have questions. We will set aside some time at the end of the session to answer as many questions we can live, but we will capture your questions and be able to get back to you with responses after the fact if necessary. Just want to say too that the chat mechanism on Zoom is just for technical questions. If you have any technical issues, please use chat for that, and our technical people will try to respond as soon as possible. That said, I'm pleased to announce our first presenters from Schneider Electric, Kai-Shi Zhang and John Conway. I'm going to turn it over to you gentlemen at this point.
Thank you, Paul. My name is John Conway. I'm very excited to be here this afternoon from the south of France. So good morning to all the watchers in the US, and if we have some people in Asia, good evening. So excited here, Kai-Shi and myself, very excited to talk about the future of industry, give you some insights into what Schneider Electric is doing. But before we do that, let's say a few words about Schneider Electric. So Tom, if you could move to the next slide, please. So our purpose is to empower all to make the most of our energy and resources, okay? So we can continue to progress in a sustainable manner, okay? And at Schneider, we call this life is on, okay? We actually believe, and I'm very proud to be in a company that believes this, that access to energy and digital is a basic human right, okay? Next slide, please, Tom. Are the slides moving? I'm still stuck on the first slide. Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I was moving the slides and they seem to have stopped. Let me try to reshare.
Can you still hear me talking?
John, I can hear you.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was me that was lost or whether it was just the slides. So we're waiting for the slides. Let me carry on talking. Basically, our generation, we're facing a shift in two areas. One is the energy transition from carbon-based fuels to decarbonized sustainable energy sources. And on the other hand, we have the industrial revolution, which is being catalyzed and accelerated by the digitization of industry, okay? This electricity, we believe electricity is the most efficient and best effective for decarbonization. And essentially our mission is to be our customers' digital partner for sustainability and efficiency. Good, I think we have the slides back. Next slide, Tom. Are we stuck on the slides again? Yeah, we seem to be stuck. Okay. So we're going to talk today about what we call the future of industry. We think the future of industry it's here and now. We think we need to redefine what is possible, okay? We need to redefine with the broad ecosystem. We're not going to do this on our own, but we believe to realize the promise of the industry in the fourth industrial revolution, we have to make some bold moves, okay? And we're going to talk about the bold move, is what we call universal automation. We're going to talk about that this morning, myself and Kai-Shi, okay? Basically, the the modern world, it requires really flexible, interoperable, and high efficient automation systems and industrial operations, okay? And over the last 40 to 50 years, automation systems have, they've done a good job bringing industry to really unprecedented level of productivity today. But we believe today that we've come to a crossroads. If we're going to continue increasing productivity, increasing efficiency, increasing throughput, we need to make a fundamental advance in our technology model. We need a new way of thinking, okay? And yes, we have to embrace open standards, but open standards, open systems is not enough. We have to go one step further, and we have to drive automation systems to basically embrace what we're calling portable and interoperable applications. Okay, so essentially, we need to move from a world of closed proprietary systems to a new world where I can create innovative automation applications and run those automation applications across different multi-vendor platforms. Okay. Now this new world of portable applications, we're calling this plug and produce. We're calling this universal automation. Universal automation is a world of plug and produce automation software components. Okay, think of it as an industrial, the dawn of an industrial app store, where essentially I create automation applications not by writing code. I create them by using proven in use automation software components that I plug together quickly to produce, to create automation systems that can help our customers, help their processes, their machines, their factories, implement complex use cases at a much more lower cost. Okay. And today we're calling on industry to join us in this next leap, in this next step towards the future industrial automation, what we're calling universal automation. Okay, and we believe we need to learn from the IT world, and in the way that they've embraced the benefits of open operating systems, we need to do the same. Okay. So basically, if we move on to the next slide, please, Tom. So basically, universal automation, it's based on the IEC 64099 standard, okay? And we believe the adoption of this, of IEC 64099 based standardized automation layer across vendors, common across different vendors, this will set the foundations for really limitless opportunities for growth and modernization across the industry, okay? So by greatly extending the capacity of existing systems, proprietary DCS systems, 61131 based systems, by extending the functionality with the 64099 functionality, we can realize the promise of the fourth industrial revolution. We also believe that as vendors start seeing the benefits of IEC 64099, and Kaishi will talk in a few minutes about the EcoStruxure Automation Expert System, as vendors start seeing the benefits of this new approach, vendors will start embracing this 64099 approach to universal automation, okay? And we also believe end users, when they start to understand the benefits, they will also start demanding it from their automation suppliers and their ecosystems. Next slide, please, Tom. And talking about the benefits becoming visible, today we're announcing, we have a press release announcing a strategic relationship with Wood. And this is a great example of a company seeing the benefits of this new approach. Wood have been working with the Open Process Automation Forum to implement test beds, illustrating the principles of portability and interoperability of automation code using the Schneider Electric IEC 64099 toolset. And Wood, they very quickly realized the benefits of this object-oriented, event-based programming and this decoupling of hardware from software that the IEC 64099 standard brings. So they experienced firsthand the benefits in engineering efficiency, and they also are completely aligned with the vision, the plug and produce vision, where they believe they can encapsulate their IP, their process IP, their knowledge inside plug and produce automation components, and essentially deliver automation systems in a multi-vendor environment. So Wood, a great example of embracing this new technology because of the strong benefits that it brings. And of course, the next part of the story is we have just launched our own offer called EcoStruxure Automation Expert, based on this universal automation technology. So I'm going to hand over to Kai-Shi Zhang to give us to say a few words about our EcoStruxure Automation Expert offer. Over to you, Kai-Shi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so thank you very much everyone joining us today. My name is Kai-Shi Zhang, also from the Schneider Electric Industrial Automation Incubator, working with John and other colleagues together. First, I want to apologize for the technical issues that we are experiencing today, but that also confirms that our technology and offer is such disruptive. Existing technology like Zoom and the Microsoft Office need to give a second thought. So please bear with us when we go through this. So as John mentioned, that we have a vision for universal automation, and we have released our first offer called EcoStruxure Automation Expert. So what exactly is EcoStruxure Automation Expert? Simply put, it is the world's first software-centric industrial automation system. And we take an innovative approach to help customers manage the complete life cycle of automation systems. Among all those different values that we try to bring with this automation expert, there are three key values we want to focus on. First is to help customers driving to 100% engineering efficiency. Second is our solution is ready for 100% operational effectiveness. Last but not least, very important, we want to ensure automation expert is a 100% future-proof solution so that customers' investment is protected from the beginning. Where we are today. Today we are announcing the version 21.0, and now we are at the stage that we are committing to a new release every 3 to 6 months based on the customer feedback and the customer request. Tom, if you can move to the next slide. Of course, we will get into more details about automation expert features, functionalities in Q&A and the follow-up sessions. But looking into the future, we really encourage users to adopt universal automation and the software to drive sustainability, efficiency, and health and safety across different industries. We see at Schneider Electric, we see this as the key to boosting global economic recovery and advanced manufacturing and the process industries. As Schneider Electric has been rated as the most sustainable corporation in the world very recently, and a global manufacturer with an end-to-end network of smart factories and distribution centers, Schneider Electric is on a mission to make this possible for all. Next slide. With that being said, we encourage you to join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time when Natalie McCall, President of Process Automation from Schneider Electric, will discuss universal automation, EcoStruxure Automation Expert, and how Schneider Electric and our partner AVEVA in particular is helping companies reach next generation in terms of efficiency, resilience, sustainability, and of course, cybersecurity. So thank you very much. That concludes our presentation, and we will now open the chat for questions.
Kai-Shi, there are no open questions right at the moment. I'd like to. This is Paul again. I'd like to. I'm very curious about if you can just expand a little bit more about what Schneider and AVEVA are working. How you're working together to realize the vision for open automation.
John, would you like to take this as a starting point or?
Sure, yes. So yes, the automation, the IC 64099 standard, it's really, Paul, it's at the level of the real-time control, okay? So it's at the level of the real-time control, but it also, because of its event-based nature, is a very efficient way to interface to other IT systems, okay? So other IT systems, by IT system, it could be a simulation system in the design phase. So I could start streaming data to the simulation system to do a digital twin, or I could connect easily to an asset management system or to a business system. So the 64099 standard for per se makes it, you can do what we call real time and right time. I can do the real time control, and I can interface easily to the IT systems. So of course, EcoStruxure Automation Expert is using that 64099 layer at its core, if you like, both at the build time level and the runtime level. And of course, we are building tools to integrate cleanly and efficiently with the Aveva systems. So specifically the Aveva systems linked to monitoring and operations management, but also the Aveva systems linking to the design tools themselves, okay? So in EcoStruxure Automation Expert, there's a suite of options and tools to make the integration with the Aveva world very seamless, okay? Does not prevent us from, of course, interfacing to other IT tools.
Cool.
So Kaishi, if you can expand a little on that.
If I can just add a couple lines with what John has started is specifically for Automation Expert. What we are clear is that if we look at the 3 layers of EcoStruxure by Schneider Electric, you start with the connected device, then you come to the edge control, then on top of that is the software and analytics. Where we are trying to disrupt the market and the current industrial automation paradigm is at the edge control layer with EcoStruxure Automation Expert. Although I talk about that, we are trying to help users manage the complete life cycle of automation systems. And that's where partner like Aveva comes in to really complement our complete story. As John mentioned that there are software provided at the 3rd layer by Aveva that is integrating with Automation Expert. As of today, what I can share is that we have already built specifically we call auto build, really to reduce the engineering time for customers to configure on the edge control side, meaning on the Automation Expert side, with Aveva system platform as the control room SCADA. So this is already available to our customers who buy Automation Expert as of today. Then we are in close collaboration with the Aveva team to enhance and enlarge the scope of the collaboration from the engineering design tool all the way to the operation and the monitoring solution that Aveva is offering.
Cool. Good. Good. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We had a bunch of questions that came in the interim. I'm going to start at the top of the list. Keith Larson from Control Global and Control is asking, can you expand a bit on the origination of the 61499 standard? What orgs were involved in its creation?
Yeah, let me take that one, Paul. So yeah, the 64099 standard has been around since the early 2000s, in fact, and it was pretty much the same people. I wasn't involved personally, but it was pretty much the same people that were involved in the 61131 standard. As you know, the 61131 standard defines programming languages for programming industrial programmable logic controllers. Well, the same people then took the standard a step further to create what is really a modeling, if you like, a modeling environment to model a system level design language for distributed systems. Okay, so it's not a programming language like 61131. It's actually it's a language for designing a distributed control and information system. It doesn't actually specify the programming language. It recommends using 61131 programming languages. but it doesn't actually specify that. It's really about the distribution, and it's the event-driven nature of the standard which enables this, makes this distribution of applications across multiple platforms very durable and efficient. Okay, so to answer the question, it's really pretty much the early thinkers were the people that were involved in the 61131 standard.
Cool, good.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Got a question from David Greenfield from Automation World. It's a good question as well. Has Schneider Electric had any discussions yet with other tech vendors about collaborating on your open industrial automation vision?
Sure. Let me answer this. There's several parts to answer this question. First, perhaps the first part is in the EcoStruxure Automation Expert offer itself. Yes, we are launching several flavors that sit on top of our hardware. Okay, so we have basically a small brick PLC. We have our M580 process automation PLC, and we actually can run the software on our variable speed drives. So we can distribute control right down to field devices, which is again one of the interesting architectural aspects of IEC 61499. In addition to that, we've been working with OPAF, and we continue to work with OPAF, because OPAF are using 61499 as one of the standards. If you like, OPAF are creating a standard of standards, and 61499 is one of the standards. And we've been working with several vendors there to implement 61499 on different platforms. One of the flavors of Automation Expert is a Linux-based soft-only controller. So in fact, you can install this software easily on an open, if you like, Linux-based automation system. And there's several of those out there today. One other thing we are doing, we are working closely with the ZVEI in Germany, which is the Electrical and Automation Vendors Association in Germany. So we've created a working group around modular software, distributed software systems based on IEC 61499. So we're talking to to some of the major vendors who are part of this working group in the ZVEI. Okay. So yes, there are ongoing discussions, and we're expecting this to evolve in the coming months. Okay.
Thank you, John. We have just a few more questions. Mark Hosky from Control Engineering. This is partly answered already, this question. So let me know if you want to elaborate on it. How much Schneider Electric software is interoperable? How much Schneider Electric software is interoperable with other vendors' software?
Yeah, that's a very broad question. I'm not sure how to answer that. I mean, we support OPC UA, for example, to interoperate with other systems. Okay, whether that's north, south, or east, west. But actually, the more fundamental change is we're pushing for IEC 61499 to be adopted at the automation level, so that by its nature, automation systems will both interoperate, okay, and will able to use the same software components, the same IEC 61499 based software components. They can run on the different multi-vendor platforms. Okay. So we continue to support the classical approach, OPC UA, etc. But we're also pushing for more standardization at the automation layer itself, at the real-time control layer. Okay.
Good thing.
I think this is exactly, if I may jump in a little bit, because we also hear the question like, is Automation Expert or the vision we are proposing compatible with existing automation solutions in the market, right? So John answered that we actually support at the multiple layers. The first layer started with, we operate on an open standard like OPC UA, Ethernet IP, Modbus TCP. So at least for any existing automation solutions or other third-party solutions that we can communicate and to do first level of connection with those solutions. And the second, Automation Expert, we use a wrap and the reuse approach to providing software-based standard interface to machines running with other applications. So from that point of view, customers do not need rip and strip in order to adopt to the automation expert. We actually manage the coexistence pretty well at this moment. And then last but not least, as John mentioned, that we have the capability to run application at any Linux or Windows 10 operating system enabled devices. So which also ensure the solution is third-party compatible as well.
Good. Thank you very much, Kashi. Thank you both, gentlemen. Your time's about run out now. It's 11:25. So we'd like to thank you. There were just a couple more questions. One was from Bill Leiden. We will forward you the questions so you can respond to them hopefully later today. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you to our editors. We'll remind you the next announcement will be starting in about 20 minutes. So we hope you'll be able to come back and join us at that point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.